It's a video chart presentation of the National Bank of Greece. It's a New York Stock Exchange listed company trading under ticker NBG. Most anyone watching this video knows about the debacle that's going on over in the EU. Greece's banking issues, of course, being at the root of a lot of it. So I thought I'd just take a look at a technical chart here and see what it has to say compared to all the fundamental news. It's pretty easy to find. Obviously, just a huge downtrend from up over top of $7.50. Lost about $6 a share. Putting together a little bounce, but it's actually taking on a trend line right now, and that's what caught my eye. Now again, news always trumps all. We'll just take a look at a technical standpoint and what to watch for in the NBG chart. Is a pretty nice upward trend going on with the MACD, making new higher lows. Over the last couple months, a little bit of a channel going on. You see right through there how it is making some lower highs. You're looking for it to take out that spot, continue a little bit stronger of a trend back towards zero. It's a nice reversal position of the ADX, positive and negative DI, kind of at opposite ends of the spectrum, moving back towards each other right now. Money flow index, right around neutral, but leaning towards the bullish side of things with a few updates the stock has recently had. You get a little bit of a different picture when you take a look at the accumulation distribution, making some lower lows. Look for that baseline to hold, see if it can break through a trend here, start to push up a little bit higher, show a little bit more strength. Shaky money flow has moved back into the green, showing buying pressures overcoming selling pressure. CCI, some higher lows, pushing out of the upper half of the indicator. That's taking on a relatively bullish look. Full stow, also pushing up towards 50. So we always talk about in videos, you want to see that break through 50 and then hold and trend above it. That's the only real sign of any true bullish momentum as far as the full stow goes. It is trying to make its way that direction at this point though, and that's a good thing to see. TRIX is still holding well below zero. It is trying to make a little bit of an upward trend, but like many of the other indicators, it stopped making some higher highs. And that's kind of a critical component for it. If it can make this bullish cross, I want to see it try and come through and do something like that. Make a higher high, continue an upward channel. RSIs, we'll see if this 14 and 21, the red and gold line, can push their way through 50 or not. You can see all the way through here, even when the 7 made a little bit of a move. Longer term RSIs just couldn't make the push, break through 50 and hold above it. As such, it's maintained a very bearish look. Once again, kind of at that point, be interesting to see if it can make the move and push through 50. Now, as I mentioned, if we take a look, there's kind of a long-term trend, but if you really brought it down and tried to hit some more pinpoint areas, you see that trend line really coming through there, and the NBG chart trying now to push through that trend. So it actually has a pretty decent look. You can see for 4 straight days now, the percent gains have actually been pretty nice for this chart. 864,000 shares traded, that's certainly not bad liquidity. Now what I'd watch for on this, any pullback, I'd want to see it hold $1.75. It does pick up a bottom support at $1.64, but $1.74, $1.75, even up to $1.78 was serving as a pretty nice support level. But if this pulls back and this chart's going to try and find a bottom, it really needs to hold that spot and then try and continue the upward trend. Now what I'd look for at a resistance standpoint, pretty spot on right there around $2.10. Still a gap to fill up over top of $2.25, but this is going to be a tough area in general for it. 50-day moving average is there, support at 215, support this time at 221, a definitive resistance point set up right there around 210. That whole spot to try and get above this 50-day, potentially fill this gap. When it hits that area, I would suspect that's a pretty tough spot. A lot of resistance should come into play. Then, of course, I'd be looking for the gap to get filled. More resistance to start to pick back up pretty heavily around $2.60. But for the near term, it's be an interesting one to watch. Obviously, being a financial play, having anything to do with overseas, there's a fair amount of risk involved. But it's still a pretty interesting chart for a bottom play. I'll just throw on radar and see how it performs. As always, this is merely my interpretation of the NBG chart. Thank you for watching and trade smart.